Hi, this is Raven. I had a subscriber request for me to show them how to create an intro, and they also wanted the cutscene to be from the player's point of view and focused on an object. So I have done guides on how to do intros and outros before, but they were based on the old camera. So this method is going to be a lot easier to use. And what I've got here is just like a demo setup. So what I'll do is I'll show you it just working, and then we'll go through how we did it. So the idea behind this was just having a guy in a watchtower. He sees something dodgy out at sea, and he gets the helicopter to go and check it out. And yeah, it could then potentially lead on to a defend mission or something like that. There we go. So let's quickly go through the setup. We've got the player on the watchtower, and you can see this little yellow sphere in front of him. This is our camera position, and it's meant to mimic the player's point of view. So you notice that it's in front of him, like half a meter. That doesn't make any difference. It will still look like it's the player's point of view. But the reason we don't put it actually inside the player's head is if I try and get in there with the get inside his head with the mouse, you'll see what I mean. So you'll see things like this. So you'll see the glasses and the helmet clipping through, or if you come outside the helmet, you'll see bits of the gun clipping through. So it'll just spoil the cutscene. So that's why it's always best to have it just slightly in front of the gun, so you're not going to get any part of the unit in the cutscene. So we've got some other spheres. So we've got sphere target 1, which is out there. That's the first thing we look at. So we're sort of in our cutscene, we're looking at something dodgy, like a little boat coming in. And let's imagine we don't know what it is, so we call in our helicopter at base to go and take a look at it to see what it is. So cam target 2 is over where the helicopter is, and then cam target 3 is out to see where our helicopter goes before it gets shot out of the sky. So they're really easy to use. You just place the ball down, and then all you've got to worry about is the height of it. So if you zoom into where the ball is, or the sphere here, because this is going to be your point of view, so you're inside it. So you just want to make sure when you place the target balls down that you can see them height wise, because obviously they'll snap to the ground initially. So if I went and put it over there, it would snap on the runway somewhere, which might be fine, but in this case it would be like we're looking at the dirt bank. So obviously we want to raise it up so we're looking in the sky waiting for the helicopter to come out. So it's just like little things like that would make your cutscene look a bit better. So if we go to props and just start typing sphere, they'll come up. I use the 25 centimeter one because it's roughly the same size as the head and it's easy to position. So you see this one, although it's a meter in front of him, it's the right height. So I just brought it up to his head height and pulled it forward. So open up the sphere and under the special states, make sure all the boxes are unticked. That just makes sure that the sphere can be seen in the editor, but not in game or the cutscene. Now, these spheres are a part of the helicopter DLC, but don't worry if you don't have it. You can get exactly the same sphere, it's just pink, in one of the mods. This mod is Cup Terrain's Core, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So obviously it's free, and your only difference is pink. Does exactly the same thing. So, and that's it. So the other thing you need to do, whatever you got your cutscene for, is you just need to take some notes of your timings. So I had to take a note of the time it takes for the helicopter to take off and get across to there, because obviously I wanted to look at this initially, but then I wanted to come over at the right time when this helicopter had got into the air, and then I wanted to follow the helicopter across. So you just got to make some notes of those timings. That's it. So if we go to the SQF file, and then these names will make sense. So we're in the demo mission folder, and we have two SQF files. So we have the init and the cutscene. So if you don't know, the init is an SQF that fires as soon as the mission starts. So in this instance, because we're doing a intro, we want it to fire straight away. So if we open up the init, you can see this line just says execute this cutscene SQF. So if we open up the cutscene, you can see I've put a little note telling you how to do that. So place the following into a trigger if you want a mid-game cutscene, or put it in the init file if you want the intro. And then it's just copy and paste that. So the first two lines are just creating the camera, and then each section from there to there is a position for the camera. And then in the first position I've just put a few notes, but obviously everyone's the same, just slightly tweaked values. So the subscriber wanted a cinematic border, so you can see the first one, show cinema border, true. I think the very last scene I have false, because it's the last scene before we get control of the player, so I wanted it to sort of work its way out, if that makes sense. So our next one is the target. So we've got here cam target 1. So that's our first sphere. And then we've got here prepare position. So this is the actual position of the camera. So cam on pause. So they're all going to be the same unless you have multiple cameras. And you might want to do that once you've had a few goes of this. You might get the confidence to do multiple cameras. The next one is the FOV, field of view. And I've put a little note here just to give you an example. So 0.7 is zoomed out, 0.2 zoomed in. But obviously you can tweak the value anywhere and have a play with it. So commit prepared, that's how long it takes to get to that position. So because this is our first position, we want it there immediately. So 0 I've got there as time. Now this sleep is the time in seconds the camera is held at that position. So how long you want to hold it there for. We want to hold it there for 6 seconds. So we're looking at that speedboat for 6 seconds basically. Our next camera point is, we've still got the cinema border. We're still looking at the same target. And we're still looking at from the same camera, but the field of view has changed. So this is where we've zoomed in to, like we're almost squinting to like look at it carefully. So prepared for. So if we go back to that note, how long it takes to get to that position. So from there to a zoomed in takes us 4 seconds. And then how long are we going to hold at the zoomed in? We're going to hold for 6 seconds. So our next one, now we're moving targets. So now we're going to target 2. So target 2 was where the helicopter was taking off, but still same camera. And we've zoomed out back out now to 0.7. And if we go back up here, how long it takes to get to this position. So 7 seconds. So it's going to take 7 seconds to move the camera from the zoomed in looking at the boat all the way over to the helicopter. And we're going to hold at the helicopter for 3 seconds. That way it's got time to take off. And then we're going to move to target 3. Target 3, the same field of view. It's going to take 40 seconds. It's going to take 40 seconds to fly across the map. And then we're going to hold there for 5 seconds because it's going to get shot out the sky. And then we've got here, I'm going to go back to camera 1 because then it will look like he's trying to see what shot the helicopter out the sky. So we're going to target 1, roughly where that boat was, and zoomed in straight away. Hold there for a second and then move back out. So same position, but we're zooming out again. And then this is kind of preparing ourselves to take control of the player and end the camera. And that's what this last line is. It's terminating the camera. So we then got control of the player. And I've just put down the bottom here as an option. You can use these cutscene as an outro. So you would want to untick these two. And then as your outro, the last line would be end the mission. So you could obviously change what type of end mission you have, but that would end the mission. So this cutscene script can do intro, mid-game, and outros. So that's it. I will put, like I said, the link to the mod where you can get the pink spheres for free if you haven't got the helicopter DLC. And I'll put a link to this cutscene SQF in my Dropbox in the description. So you can just copy and paste it into your mission folder, set up your spheres, and name them appropriately. If you need to add more, obviously just copy and paste at the end, or delete if you don't need as many. Alright, good luck.